Happy Friday. Here we go. I feel like I'm in an Elder Scrolls game or something. Wow, how about that orchestral swell, huh? And now for something completely different. All right, so yesterday we did some stuff. So what we did was we changed the way the cutaway system worked. We got the layers. I think what we really did yesterday was we separated the layers. So we can go back to this cutaway tiles by compartment thing, and we're just going to keep working on this. We're going to keep working on this until we're happy. And that'll probably involve doing a lot of other things. So I'll just swap back to the... So we're using a new merging blocks buffer. As a way of keeping the data separate when it's stored, while merging it when necessary for particular purposes. And that has some benefits. Ahoyo. Hey, Steuben Hucker. How's it going? I think one thing we absolutely desperately need to do is improve the performance of the flood fill system. Oh, we need to get erasing working again. That's probably something we'll do. Why is it treating these as one room? That's strange. Okay, things are weird. Things are behaving weirdly here. These rooms are not being treated as indoors. Wonder what's going on. Yeah, we're reverting to like the cursor cutaway. We're only supposed to do that under a specific circumstance, and yet we're doing it. So we must be meeting that circumstance. So what we're doing is, so if key.z is greater than or equal to cowards.z. Okay. And here, so what we're saying here is if part index evaluates to 0, use the cutaway tiles by cursor cowards. That is suspicious. That is suspicious. There must be something going wrong with the flood fill system. So we're using the merging blocks. And then we're compartmentalizing based off of that. Is there a possibility that we're not doing that part correctly? So we go through all of the tool system stuff. And then we get the merging blocks thing, and then we merge settle blocks and the preview blocks into the merging blocks. These functions are new. Make sure they're set up correctly. Output span I equals merge primary input dot span I. Oh, this is no good. We can't do it this way. We can't just call merge. Oh, wait. Yeah, we can. We're calling a different merge. We're calling the block version of merge. We're calling this version of merge. And that's correct. Wonder if there's anything else that could be going wrong here. There's bounds equals game.world.usedBounds. Yeah, sure. I wonder how we're calculating used bounds. Are we doing it with the... Oh, are we doing it after this system runs? That might be part of the problem. I think we calculate the used bounds in the tile system, which is no good. Yeah, okay, so there's a system run order problem here, I think. I mean, there definitely is, but I don't know if that's actually contributing to anything. Hey, Rihanna Journey, happy Friday. How's it going? It's looking like it's going to be a pretty chill day on stream here. Hope everyone's ready for the weekend. So we're running into some issues that we were not encountering before we made these changes. If we make this... Yeah, this cutaway system is misbehaving, I would say. Okay, so this is good, but if I start separating this room into more rooms, the system doesn't seem to be acknowledging that that's happening. And in fact, it's just getting worse. Like, what? Yeah, it should be treating these as separate rooms. It's not. It's actually, this part's really concerning because this means it's actually engaging the cursor cutaway to some extent. Doesn't totally make sense why it would be doing that. Also, this glitching here is not good. Like, why would this be considered out? Ooh. It has to do with the merging rules. I can tell you right now, there's something going wrong with the merging, I think. Let's change the cutaway rules. Let's go back to the old system so I can at least understand what's happening. Because the flood fill is misbehaving. Brianna Journey, happy Friday. Just a couple more hours work for you. Nice. Yeah, I've got probably another 4 hours after this, but then I'm done. And then at least for me, it's a long holiday weekend. I'm ready. Yeah, this is what is happening here. So if I touch the wall here with another block, it makes it think that this is... Only if I do it this way. It messes with the rendering. Or no, it messes with the... Yeah, I don't know why this specific... Hey, smooth in a second. Okay. Yeah, what? What is happening here? The dark gray, or the mid-tone gray is like a sign that it thinks we're outside. Definitely not. If I... Ooh. That's weird. Game.output.views.enqueue command.back. Oh, after we add command.reset. This is a bit of a problem. I need to reverse the order of this at least. But that's a sign there's a bigger problem there with the way that the way we're processing commands. What happens if I add a door? It shouldn't treat doors any differently than walls. Right now it doesn't understand the distinction. We basically separated the layers out the way I described we were going to. And it's causing a bit of chaos. So we've separated the preview blocks, which is like the block that's following my cursor around, from the like these blocks that have been placed down, but it's causing some weird stuff to happen. Like that's suspicious. Wonder if there's like a... No, all the buffers are the same size. That doesn't make sense. Oh. Well, no. Doesn't totally make sense why that would affect that. There's something weird happening. We'll find it. Yeah, it's very strange that it gets mad when it's right here. Could have something to do with the boundary. I'm going to see if it has to do with this. So this function, this calculate used bounds thing, we're going to move this out of this system and into the other system. We're going to see if that helps. I think there's an order of operations problem there. Hull levels. Oh, do you not know how many hull levels there are here? Oh, that's not great. 7. Hold on. Could be, we could say buffer dot volume dot AABB dot Z dot maximum, or it would be buffer dot size dot .aabb.size.z. Maybe it's doing the same thing with the wall inside too, like it grays out when touching the wall. Yeah, it kind of does. It seems to be doing that in some cases as well. Calculate used bounds, merging blocks. Oh, we're going to say game.world.used bounds equals calculate used bounds. So in the tool system, what we're going to do is we do all the tool stuff. Then we're going to merge it all. And then we're going to calculate the used bounds. Game.input.history.add. I want to add command.reset. I don't know if I want to reset it when I add it to the history. We should probably just reset it when we play it back, huh? Get rid of this call here. All right, let's see, because there's definitely a system ordering problem there, but it's not clear whether that's causing the problem, like the actual problem. That could just be an incidental issue that we're not observing. Oops, I went too far. It's very funny because it doesn't happen. Oh, it does happen there. Yeah, so if you pop out here, it happens. If you pop inside, it doesn't, except if you do it at this corner. So if you do it at this minimum corner here, it causes a problem. Nowhere else. Back wall doesn't affect anything, which is interesting. So it's the wall. It's only two places, either particularly this wall along the y-axis. So positive y, if you exceed that, and it doesn't happen if you go like out here. It's only if you touch the edge of this wall. Or if you go to this corner. That's also suspicious. And then if you make multiple rooms, you make some rooms. That happens within the room too. So it's a room specific, which is curious. Huh. Oh, it happens there. Only there. What about here? Okay, so there's a couple spots where it happens on the X side, but it's very rare. Okay, let's just keep messing with the flood fill. I think this is all entirely down to the flood fill system. So it must be unhappy with what we're merging here. It's possible that our merging logic is giving us a weird output. Because yesterday we moved all of our merge logic onto the block itself. So the block struct determines how blocks are supposed to be merged. But this logic hasn't changed. I mean, we could pretty quickly validate this, it would kind of be involved. Here we go. So block merge, merging blocks, settled blocks, preview blocks. That seems fine. We could test to see if that's the problem by just adding... If I swap this to say settled blocks, what does that do? Oh, well, that's not good. I need to also do this. So we're treating the settled block. Here. This is gonna lag a little bit, but... Oh. So that's already... No, so that didn't fix anything. In fact, this thing, whatever's going on there is like a huge problem. Okay, so it's not that. Interesting. Wonder what we did. Wonder what we did to cause that. Settle preview blocks. We are using this. It shouldn't matter. All right, let's investigate. Unvisited is bounds.toList. Visited is the exterior flood fill. Buffer and bounds. How do you pick your starting point for this? You see, okay, you enlarge the fill volume, right? Which is where we're actually trying to flood fill. You start by adding all of those points to the stack. Okay. And then you check this buffer. Block has... If block has... Oh, continue. Continue is not good. Maybe we need to do this in the other order. I do need to restructure how this works a little bit because I want to change the way we're storing the compartment information on each block. And in fact, I might not even want to put the compartment information on each block. Maybe I do. Actually, that's probably the best way to do it. But the problem is it needs to be more information than just a simple number. It needs to be like bit flags or something like that, bit fields, so that I can have multiple compartments associated with a specific, especially a wall. Like a wall needs to know what compartments are it's next to, like what compartments it like forms the barrier to. So if block.has block.forms.deck or block.forms.bulk or block.has block.forms.deck or block.forms.door, continue. So if we find a block, the fill volume has this block, we're searching this block. I want to move this part up here, I think. For now. That should do something, but again, I don't think that's going to have anything to do with what the problem we're spotting. But that is a change we need to make. Okay, that makes sense when you do that. And if I go out here, yeah, what in the world? How is that causing such a problem? Just this specific, and only for certain spots. I choose to believe this is a problem with the flood fill that's determining whether we're inside or outside, whether we're dealing with an interior or exterior compartment. If it's a problem with the auto tiler, that's like, that's impossible for me to believe, really. I'm going to debug the partition count thing. I'm gonna debug.write line partition count. I want to see how many partitions we get to when we're doing something like that. All right, so if I do this, so this will debug a number if I make rooms. So if I switch to this, yeah, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. What if I do this? No way. Oh, I gotta do this. Okay, so it does, when it sees this, it thinks it's all exterior. Very strange. So here it recognizes interiors. There it also doesn't think there's an interior. Why there? Oh, is it like... I might be passing the wrong boundary. And it's not able to flood fill correctly in situations like this. Because of what the coordinate that goes first. Doesn't totally make sense. Let's mess around with that though. It does seem to think... The problem is definitely in the flood fill. It's not like a rendering issue. Okay. Could be a used bounds problem here. Area equals 0. Area is less than buffer.aabb.size.z. That's maybe not the right way to do this. That should just affect the Z. We're not really seeing a problem with the Z. We're seeing a problem elsewhere. If buffer.span I is empty, continue. Otherwise, bounds is equal to bounds, not equal to default. Bounds.resize buffer.get coordinates I. Resize should be the correct function here. You resize and you try to reincorporate a coordinate. Yeah. It's possible that the enlarge function is not doing what I'm expecting it to do. Enlarge vector3i dot size. Vector3i size is a new minimum minus size, maximum plus size. Yeah, that's correct. So what should be happening? Calculate use bounds. So I'm gonna just debug the bounds. We're gonna just start eliminating possibilities. And eventually we'll figure it out. So that's a 3x3. And so if I bring this down here, 35, 37, 0 to 37, 39, 1. That is correct. The boundary seems fine. Okay, so the boundary is not a problem. We're passing in the correct boundary. It's good to know. I'm a little concerned about the merge, the block merge. Like, that problem must be there, right? Because it's the only thing we've changed. Making sure that they all have the same length. I wonder if the interior flood fill is breaking. It seems like it's part of the exterior is the problem. So the exterior flood fill, when we're reaching these weird states, the exterior flood fill is filling the whole. It seems to be filling the whole volume. Say debug.writeLine visited dot length. Is that fine? Let's say debug.writeLine. Let's say visited. Say unvisited. All right, we're going to make some comparisons. We're going to see if the exterior flood fill is just blowing everything out and fully searching the space instead of being stopped where it's supposed to. Because it's supposed to get stopped by walls and things. I'm going to keep this small so that I can still read the debugger. Actually, whenever I want to do that, what I should be doing is I should be running in the engine like this. Or in the editor, because then I can see the debugger while still doing this at a reasonable size for everyone. Okay, we're going to go down one. Unvisited 66 versus visited 322. I guess that makes sense because we're visiting more than is. I don't know if I'm getting good data out of this. Visited is not the number we're interested in. We're interested in the actual fill. Actually, no, we are interested in the visited because we shouldn't be visiting this many. We shouldn't be visiting this many blocks in the 380 versus 416. Oh, maybe this is correct. Hey, Diginanigans. Why isn't this causing the problem? It's only if I do this. Yeah, it behaves differently when it's this versus this. Oh, there's an error. Oh, there's a bug somewhere. That shouldn't have been a problem, though. Continue to work on the merge issues? Yeah, there are merge issues. Something about the way they're handling the merge now is making the flood fill misbehave. And I'm not quite sure where the problem is. So we're just debugging. How are you doing? Happy Friday. I'm gonna go find every use of the word command.reset, and I'm gonna remove that because I feel like that's causing some problems. Command.reset. We shouldn't reset when we record things. We should reset only when we're replaying. So 2 in the view system, 1 in the tool system. Yeah, I'm gonna just not do that now. That should solve a lot of the problems. We only really need to reset when we're actually going to play the command back. They're all classes, so problem is that's part of the problem there for the error that we're seeing. That's not relevant to our current issue, I don't think, but it is just a problem. Not too bad. Busier day today. You called it. You called it yesterday. That today was going to be busier. A couple of your kids are not feeling the greatest. Looking forward to the weekend. I am sorry to hear you got sick kids. The kids are always getting sick, aren't they? So what we're supposed to be doing when we're doing this flood fill, the exterior flood fill. So it's interesting that this block doesn't cause any problems. This block here, the floor block, this behaves correctly. But as soon as we make it a wall block, does it have to be a wall? Oh, it has to be a wall and a floor block. Nope. Okay, in here. Yeah, no, so that's that. So there's certain positions where if you have a wall and a floor block, the system just stops working. Why? Why? I don't think there's any kind of weird issue we've got going. So there's a small set of coordinates. There's this coordinate causes the flood fill to fail, and it's per compartment. So if I set up a new compartment, the rules remain mostly true. So this one causes a failure, this point causes a failure, and then any of these causes the failure. Very interesting. Miha, what am I making? Hey, Miha. We are developing in Godot kind of an isometric an isometric 3D kind of game like FTL faster than light. We're trying to make a little 3D space game. And so right now we're working on the tool that will let us build out these rooms and these ships. So we've got an auto tiler and a block editor, and we've got a flood fill system that basically tries to figure out where all the rooms are, and that's malfunctioning a little bit. So that's what we're working on right now. How are you doing? Happy Friday. That's cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, the exterior flood fill, something is happening with this one. The get non-overlapping might be no, we didn't change any of that. Flood volume dot get non-overlapping fill volume. So the flood, so what we do is we take the fill volume, which is the used bounds, so the boundaries of what we're actually using. We make a flood volume, which is that fill volume but +1 in every dimension. So, and then we get the difference between the two by getting the non-overlapping between the flood volume and the fill volume. And that means we basically get this thin margin around the area, and that's where we search from. Those are our search points. And then what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to search through, but we're supposed to stop if we find a certain, like we aren't supposed to search through solid objects here. And in those certain circumstances, we are. I want to look at one thing real quick. It's not a system order thing, is it? No. Hmm. I want to get rid of that partition count, debug right line. All right, so here are our boundaries. We're just printing them out in a big stream here. What I want to do is I want to make my thing. Yeah, that doesn't, there's no issue where we're like sending the wrong boundaries for the system to check. And that was like the one thing that I could imagine causing the problem. That was the only obvious thing that could be causing the problem. It doesn't make sense for this interior space, does it? Why it would cause this. Nowhere else is a double wall a problem except here. There's something about occupying that maximum position. Causes this problem here. Okay, well that's not it. And it's not like this problem is only related to that floor. If we do the same thing one floor down, we still have this problem, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it affects all of them. Oh. So that doesn't affect all the rooms. But this does. Very strange. I am gonna do something that kind of rolls back some of the changes we made recently, but it's gonna have the benefit of making it definitely clear where the problem is. So we are going to, I'm gonna roll back some changes I made here. But it should very clearly define, or very clearly tell us where the problem is. It's this wall piece. Putting the wall in a very certain place really just messes everything up. But why? If there's a floor there, does that change things? No, seemingly not. So the easiest way to test this would be to just revert to using a single buffer for all of this stuff. Writing everything to a single buffer. just to see. And what I'll do is we'll write everything to the merging blocks buffer. We'll just write everything directly there instead of trying to write into two separate locations and then merge it together. And if the problem goes away, then it's super clear that that's where the problem was. No, we don't need to debug right line. All this stuff. All right, let's see. Oh. There's a function we need to remove. Okay, it's gone. So it is the act of merging. The act of merging the blocks is causing a conflict. Huh. Oh, well, that was weird, whatever was happening there. That might have been just a freak occurrence, though. Yeah, that was me accidentally touching the edge. Oh, that is misbehaving a bit, though. Okay, well, there is a problem with the flood fill here. Let's see if we can fix that in this simpler case and then switch back. It's not switching. Yeah, look at this. Like, I bust a hole in the wall and then I remove it. And it is unhappy. It's failing to correct itself, but only for this one. Super weird. Let's see if we can figure out why that's happening. I suspect that this line should move up here before the continue. I don't think that will help, but I suspect that should occur. So we make a bunch of rooms. And we start breaking holes in them. What happens? Okay, why does this work now? Did I fix it? Was that just the one problem? Huh, okay. I mean, I would like that to be the case. Let's try to recreate the test that I did initially. Which was like, it was like a double wall separating two rooms. Yeah, what the, why? Why does the double wall cause the problem? This might actually be indicative of maybe part of the problem we're running into in the other case. For some reason, the double wall messes with this. This isn't like... No. I kind of want to rewrite this whole flood fill thing, but we're not going to. We're going to fix the bugs. I mean, eventually we will, but... Game.world.compartments.clear. Fine. Game.world.compartments.add bounds. Fine. If bounds.volume is 1, return. Sure. Unvisited is bounds.toList. Okay. Visited is exterior flood fill. This is where I start to be less sure. For each coordinates in the visited span, if you can find that visited coordinate in the unvisited list, remove it. See the partition count again. When we're messing around with this. Two is good. Now it's 3. Two or 3. And if I add this second wall here. Oh, now it's 2. Oh. So when there's this double wall here, it seems to think that both of these oh, what? What? And then if I bust open this, it's 2, 2, 2, 2. And if I do this, Oh, now it's down to 1. Interesting. So there's something about having these double walls here, which is causing quite an interesting problem. Yeah, I would not be surprised if it's related to our other problem. This might be a problem that's always been present and we've only started noticing it. Huh. All right. Let's understand why that might happen. I'm glad this is a kind of quiet day on the stream because I am struggling today. I wonder why I don't just add the compartment first and then I do this. If indexes might continue, no, that's fine. I should game.world.components add. It shouldn't be bounds. It should be buffer.aabb. That doesn't mean anything about anything though. Like that's not significant. But that is what I should store there. What's interesting is what's happening in that weird case with the double wall, which the exterior flood fill, if fill volume.contains coords, this buffer span index, the block with part equals 0, this should happen. So the color should change, but that's not what occurs. That's suspicious. I guess I don't get in there, though. How does my shitty get non-overlapping function work? I feel like I should have a function for this, for getting a coordinate for a given index. Do I not have that? Get coords for an index. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing that separately here? I guess it's just to avoid the safety check. That's fair. Size at dot x times size dot y. No, that's all the same. All right, so we get the correct stuff. I wonder if the problem is with our logic for picking a new... The interior flood fill, I just passed the buffer. I'm not passing the bounds. Is that a problem? I think the answer is yes. I think that's a huge problem. Unless I just pull it separately. Visited. No, because I get my list of visited. List vector visited initial. Stack push. Stack.push initial. Chords stack.pop. Index is buffer.get index. Block is buffer.span. Block has continue. Don't do this. I want to say part equals part or compartment. Can I say that? Or it would be block.part. I kind of want to start storing compartments like that, so that we can store many compartments as if they were just bit fields, as if they were just flags, instead of storing them as just integers and only allowing one compartment. Because then I can start storing what compartments are next to this wall. And I want to do that. So we might actually structure this a little differently so that we can account for that. It should be fine for our purposes. Like, it shouldn't matter if we start doing this. What if I start doing that? And then when we're... Visited equals flood volume dot get not overly filling. No, this one. Visited is initial. Stack.push initial. Chords stack.pop. So if we add something to the stack, we're also adding it to visited. So that's actually great. The only thing about this is that I need to, instead of having compartment be an integer that just increments, I need it to be powers of, so I just need to say compartment times equals 2 instead of incrementing. Well, no, I do need to do that. For now, it doesn't matter, but we do need to start doing that. Yeah, I'm not sure where this problem is. If I'm gonna rewrite the flood fill algorithm anyway, I might just end up doing that, and it might end up fixing the problem. It'd be nice to know where the problem is though first, before I end up doing something like that. Yeah, so this doesn't work. This doesn't actually. So why would the double wall cause this problem? Is like, I guess, the core interesting question here. Why would the fact that there's a double wall separating these cause this problem? Does the double wall, it's having a double wall. Does having a double wall on the inside do anything? Shouldn't. But you know, if you asked me, I would tell you the double wall on in between them shouldn't do anything either. Oh yeah. The double wall just like breaks the system. Why is that? Huh. Do I just need to have a single point with a one wall? No, it's the whole thing, huh? Oh, it's that corner. It's this block. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Look at that. Well, we're getting close to a minimum for like what it takes to reproduce this. So the double wall, it doesn't matter. It's, I bet. Oh, maybe it does. What the hell's going on here? Okay. Okay, yeah, so it's not the double wall, it's this block right here. Rhiannon Journey, there goes your plan for a double-hulled ship. No, I want double-hulled ships to be a thing. I want that to be like a conscious choice to do that. We're gonna make that work. So if you place a block here, what I would consider like the maximum point of the room, it totally messes everything up. That's interesting. It causes the flood fill to misbehave. The minimum point doesn't cause the same problem. It's just this one point. Oh, oh, or this. It's or this. Oh, it's exactly the same points from the other thing, from the other problem, the problem we were looking at earlier. So it's not the merge block. It's the exact same problem we were running into with the. Okay, thank God. I was so concerned when I thought that the merging was causing a problem. It's not the merging. It's something more fundamental to the flood fill. This problem has probably always existed and we just never noticed it. You have to remove all of these. Yeah, before it works. If you have a block in any of these positions, it's this point, the maximum corner, and then for some reason this block just on the other side. Is it just if any block is here, it will cause the problem? Yep. Oh, maybe not. So, oh, no. Yep. Or any block here. So any block along the positive y-axis wall on the other side. Or here at the little maximum point, or here. So at these particular points, it will cause a failure. Interesting. It probably has to do with the way the stack operates. I bet if I switch to a queue, the issue points would like flip to the other side or something. That's kind of maybe worth testing. Oh my God, DIGITALians. Looks like you caught the corner case of a bug. Sunglasses. Yeah, just the CSI Miami. Yeah. At the end of the episode. You say something witty, rip your sunglasses off, and yeah, you got me. That was really good. Corner case of a bug. Yeah, this really is a corner case bug. It's pretty incredible. All right, we're going to switch to a queue. We're going to switch from using a stack to a queue, and we are going to see if that does anything. It's just for picking the initial search coordinates. It probably won't do anything, but I'm curious to see if it does. All right, minimum viable or minimum reproducible thing. So we're gonna make this tiny little thing. We're gonna poke a hole in it. And then if I put a point here. Okay, now it works. What if I put the point here, though? Okay, it still works. Okay. Oh, now it doesn't work. Now it doesn't work anymore. Wait, what? Now it's working? It didn't work first. Yeah, it doesn't work. In this case, it doesn't work. But if I come out here and do it, it does work. The heck? But this case doesn't work. Why does that not work? Oh, what is that doing? Oh no, that's just the cutaway. Yeah, that doesn't work either. It does work if I do that. It's super weird. So we can change which coordinates are causing the problem. But yeah, it's like short-circuiting the like search pattern or something, or the search mechanism. Huh. I don't totally understand what it's doing. Yeah, it flips the piece that causes the problem around if I switch from using a queue to a stack, which is interesting. So it's basically running into something early on, which is preventing it from continuing the search, I guess. Very strange, very strange. So we're going to say partition count times equals 2. All right, so why is this causing a problem? Wait, what the hell is this shit? Initial equals unvisited. Oh, it's the topmost index of unvisited. This should work. I'm getting the, like, whatever the top of the stack is. I'm pulling it off. I'm not popping it off, but I'm like I wish remove at was like the equivalent of pop. List doesn't have a pop, does it? Unvisited. So new bounds.toList. Diginanigans. I don't suppose you have an easy way to step through where your flood fill one block at a time so you can visualize where it's checking and breaking. No, I definitely don't. If I can't figure this out by tomorrow, maybe we consider something like that. All right, should I just do... I was trying to be lazy and I do unvisited.count -1. Should I actually do this properly with a remove at? This shouldn't matter. Shouldn't do anything, but... I'm just trying stuff. We are kind of, you know, floundering a little bit. Yep, look at this. What a fascinating thing. If I'm not able to search here, it just treats the whole space as unsearchable. Very strange. As soon as I remove that, it goes back to being normal. And the same problem exists for these positions as well. Or this position. So interesting. Okay, yeah, that doesn't seem to matter. I'm going to add my shortcut back. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I just found it. I think I just found it. Yep. Look at what we're doing wrong. Look at our while statement here. Look at where we define the index that we use to search the span. That's definitely wrong. I don't know if that's the only problem that we have, but that's huge. We get the index based on the initial coordinates, but if the initial coordinates that we're going to flood fill from are solid, they basically have a deck and they have a floor and a wall or a floor and a door, Then we try to grab a new initial search coordinate. And then we check that. But we use the same index. We don't regenerate the index. Oh my god, I want to die. Okay. That's so dumb. That has been written like that for so long, I don't even want to think about it. All right, we fixed it. We fixed it. That's so funny. If the initial coordinate that was added to the... If one of the initial starting coordinates for the search was a wall, it like couldn't move on because it would just be like, oh, we'll try another one. And then it's like, was that first one still a wall? And it's like, yeah, it's always still a wall. Okay. Everything should be fine now. There should no longer be any problems with any of this. All right. Huzzah. Just checking a few different things. Yep. All right. Resolved. I should do something about the diagonals. The flood fill should attempt to work diagonally, I feel. I don't want to really allow diagonals or diagonal seals like they do in, like, I don't know, Dwarf Fortress. I actually don't remember if Dwarf Fortress allows that. Huzzah. Gotta love those sort of facepalm bugs when you catch them. They always seem so obvious in hindsight and make you feel dumb. It can easily sink so much time. Yeah, we just spent almost 2 hours looking for that. That's the whole stream. The whole stream is finding that bug, solving it, and then rolling back all the stupid changes I made while looking for it. I might actually just straight up roll back this file, because I messed up this file so badly trying to fix this. Tool system. Yeah, we swapped all of the uses of the preview and the settled. And the only thing we really did was add calculate use bounds, which we could easily do by just rolling this back. So fill system, we're going to keep the changes we made to the fill system, I think. Yeah, let's keep the fill system and we're going to roll back the changes to the tile system. And we're going to roll back the changes to the tool system. And then all we need to do is re-implement one set of those changes. Which is to move calculate used bounds function from the tile system to the tool system. Actually, we could cut this, huh? Cut. Diginanigans, you once sunk a good few hours trying to resolve a seemingly simple bug. Nothing you were doing seemed to be working. You were accidentally testing on your QA server, but doing the edits locally. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I could see that being a huge problem. So we could say buffer aabb dot size dot z. Does a 3D buffer not have a size? I could have sworn I added that as a thing. No, I didn't, I guess. All right, well, it's truly Friday. We're truly cooked as far as our ability to use our brain. I'm really glad this was a quiet stream. I'm really glad that there was a minimum number of people here to witness my stupidity today. Say game world dot used bounds equals calculate used bounds. Oh, excuse me. Yawn. Big tired. I need to go get a coffee. Let's see if the changes I just made are all the changes I want at the moment. Okay, so we also made a quick change which should allow for the walls to be registered as compartments. Or as parts of compartments. So like this wall here between these two compartments, if you look at its part, it will have the number for this compartment and the number for this compartment. And all we need is a little system to pull those parts out. To pull those the pieces of the data. Because it's all just going to be stored as like an int or something. I guess I probably want it to be like not an int, but like a long or something. Depending on what the upper bound of compartment counts is that I want to be able to support. We'll start with an int. Cool. All right. All right, let's see how the compartment flood fill is feeling about things now. Or the compartment, the cutaway tiles by compartment. That's what I mean. It's okay. The VOD caught it for archival purposes. Yeah, well, thank Godot that will just exist forever. Oh, so the cutaway system is very unhappy with me. Why? I'm gonna need something. I'm gonna need some other way. I have to undo one thing. We can't actually do the fun thing that I wanted to do yet. I have to change a bunch of other systems first. We're gonna have to keep, for now, we need the wall to just be one compartment, or each block to correspond to one compartment. We are going to change that. You know, actually, maybe we don't need to. What if the walls only correspond to the compartment behind them? That could work. That could work. I don't know how I would implement that, but that could work. Because we really just need to know that information for the purpose of the cutaway system. Oh, we're still not working. I didn't change all the things that I need to change. What the heck? All right, dummy check here. We're going to disable that and enable this and make sure that that's where the problem is. Yep, that is where the problem is. We gotta re-enable erasing tomorrow. Tile block erasing. Probably work on that, and we'll probably work on having how we're gonna record compartment information in walls. So that we can have a more sophisticated cutaway model. Which probably is going to involve storing our compartments in like a tree structure. All right, where is... All right, there's one thing I can think of that might have caused this problem, or that might be causing this problem. We'll check that real quick. Oh, I think I need to turn the cutaway system on again. Yeah, I do. No, it's... Why is that occurring? Oh. Hold on. Why can I see you down here? Oh, only at the most... What? Only at the bottommost level is it letting me see anything. Very strange. Did you think your work through your workload today? You're gonna switch to your personal account, work on your games for a while. Be back in a moment. So you're assuming I'm probably wrapping up soon. You're assuming correct. Probably in a few minutes here. But I'm glad you got through your day, your work day there. You switched to something more interesting. So we're still doing something wrong with the compartmentalization. Where, what, and where? part index is evaluates to 0. Block buffer dot span block buffer dot get index coords dot part. Yeah, so why is it the default case we can't see anything? Doesn't make a ton of sense. Except if I'm all the way down here. Okay, it's some kind of Z index thing is happening. Game.world.compartments, blockbuffer.span, blockbuffer.get index, coords, .part. Compartment.maximum.z. Maybe we're not doing it thing correctly here in the resize. Compartment equals compartment.resize coords. Yeah, sure. Compartments.add buffer.aabb. Is it this? Is it not happy with the change I made here? Let's try bounds. Okay, that was it. All right, let's see if we got back to kind of where we were when we started. Nope. The answer is nope. It's still not behaving correct anymore. We had it. It was so cool. Oh, we're switching to cutaway. We're switching to the cursor cutaway. That's a sign. You're back again. Gonna work on a couple of your tiles, sort out your workflow for getting that all into Godot. Nice. Get it all into Godot. Oh no, the ads. Damn it. I was supposed to stop. I'm supposed to snooze the ads because we're not there. Well, apologies if you're on Twitch. I was unable to stop the ads. All right, so I don't understand. We're kind of back to where we were when we started today, which I don't totally understand why the compartment cutaway thing is working the way it is. It's not working as well as it was yesterday. Actually, I think I understand why. Key.z is greater than compartment.max. Key.z is less than. If key.z is greater than or equal to... Ah, yeah. It's this change I made. That's why the behavior is a little different. Shenanigans. You're doing the main tiles in the voxel editor. You want to play around with different materials and processing effects. You think you're going to manually paint normal maps to add a slight bit more depth variety without making the mesh more complex? I think that's a good idea. I'll probably end up painting normal information on my tiles here. All right, hopefully this works at least the way it did yesterday now. No, it's still just eliminating the ceiling with like extreme prejudice. Just not what I want it to do. I mean, I kind of want it to do that, but not really. Yeah, like what the heck? All right. I don't know what it's doing. It's reverting to the other cutaway system, which means Stupid Hawker, you're going to disappear into the night. Have a great rest of my day. Thank you, Stupid Hawker. I hope you have a great one as well. Enjoy your weekend. This part index evaluates to 0 thing. This is like happening all the time, which is not good. That is a bad sign. All right. We're going to need to figure that out tomorrow. Oh well, we killed a pretty major bug that should have been very obvious, but it was not. And we took the day to do it, pretty much. Sorry, it's a shorter stream today. I've got some stuff I got to do, as I often do. I'm really sorry I missed the ad. I was unable to sneeze the ads. Because we're going to come back from the ad break and I'll basically be done. But, you know, that's on me. So we'll stream tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. See if we can actually get something real done. Get the cutaway system looking good. I'm very excited for it. I think it has a great potential. We gotta do some stuff to make it work though. Yeah. Appreciate everyone hanging out through a really quiet stream. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday. And I'll see you next time. Bye.